Perch upon the top rope with the ghost. Foreign objects. We tossing tired Maybachs at young niggas' throats. DiBiase 2-piece suits, 18 minks. Green stink named it, guaranteed you gon' float. To rap like me, you guaranteed you gon' glow. Cold. Each show providing courtesy codes. And I ain't even maxed out, these is courtesy quotes. Clotheslines, put them over the ropes. Late night West Coast. We was rolling up notes. The Hawk went Hollywood, the new WO. No regrets.
So in case you've been living under a rock for the last 6 months, we are the newest and fastest rising podcast and YouTube show in all of wrestling. Welcome to Top Rope Wrestling Talk. I am your host, Dom, and I am joined for the moment by my homie, the man that oozes creative machismo, the man who is so evil he's good. The artist extraordinaire, the Mark turned full-time host, Evil Evan.
They just fucked with the wrong Mexican.
And oh yeah, I guess I should do something for myself, right? I'm the South Philly psycho, the jack of all trades, the master of absolutely none. Your boy, I'm Dom. And we're glad to be back. We do have a ton of topics. We decided again, since it went so well the first time, that when we were recording our episode, we would just live stream it in our Facebook group, because that's where everything really started. There have been a lot of people who asked me, like, how did you guys come up with this? Or what made you decide to do this? It really all started with this Facebook group. Brucey brought me in, and eventually we got a big staff of admins with Wendy and Jose and Hope, and then as we were doing the show, we met Evil Evan, and things jumped off from there. And now here we are, like 60 or so subscribers strong, and hopefully counting. Subscribe to Fox Den if you haven't already. But we're having a good time. We're getting some guests. We're getting a lot of views. Our YouTube page is starting to blow up. We see it. We love it. So we're trying to provide whatever we can. And another shout out to my man Scorsese for coming through last week. I did not expect him to stick around for 3 hours. Awesome. I did not expect him to be, that cordial and funny and just take the time to sit and kick it with us. That was great. Thank you. We will have the Invasion Part 2 somewhere down the line. And before we get into these topics, the last order of business, because they shouted us out last week, and I didn't realize it until after we were long done with the interview, but Clark Street Wrestling Podcast. We've talked a little bit. We've mentioned each other on each other's shows. They have a great podcast. You can check them out at Clark Street Wrestling on Twitter. They have an Anchor account, the whole nine. They actually gave us a shout out on Twitter, and on their show, they left an audio clip saying they would love to do some kind of cross-promotional podcast show with us. I've already got that in the works. I've sent you guys some messages. Let's really, get together, iron out these details, and get it going, because we love having guests and doing new things, whether it's we've already had the crossover with our wrestling perspective, Culk from all the way in Australia. We've already had a few guests. We'd love to do something with you too. So please hit us back. We'll set it up. We'll get it promoted. We'll get it going. It's going to be great. In the meantime, I guess we could, while waiting for Grandma Wendy, we could start off with one of Top Rope Wrestling Talk's traditions here, and do a Dynamite and AEW recap in the only way we know how, and that's the good, the bad, and the ugly. I was waiting for a tumbleweed, and all I have is a fat ass with our logo behind us. So, sorry, guys. We try. Now that I've rambled on for a while, Evil Evan, why don't we start with Dynamite? Give me, like, your good from Dynamite.
Good from Dynamite. I'm going to go there. I know it's a little controversial, but I'm going to say Sammy Guevara singing the Chris Jericho. You gotta love it. You gotta love it,
I
right?
guess. Oh my God, Kristen's watching too. Hi, Kristen. How you
Yeah,
doing?
love on the Facebook.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
Sammy
that whole
Guevara,
Sammy thing with him singing behind Jericho, like
yeah.
the
And
first
then like
time
riding around on the scooter in the background. I remember anybody caught that. He's on the Hit Me Up Mobile. He
the
was
Hit Me Up
making his
mobile,
presence
yes.
felt. Even when he's not in the ring, that guy, he's still in the spotlight, still in the show. I got him. I'm telling you, I mentioned it in the Facebook thread, the watch along thread. You guys gotta be there in that Facebook group. I mentioned Sammy Guevara perhaps on my short list for the wrestler of the year for the first half of 2020. I mean, he's been killing it. He's been entertaining as
Yeah.
hell. Definitely a highlight of this week's
No,
Dynamite.
he's been very entertaining. He's been very good in the ring, but man, that motherfucker can't sing. Like I love him, but I said it the first
That's
time.
the charm.
I said it
That's
the
the
first
charm.
time. I said it in the thread. I'm gonna say it again. For a singer, that man is a hell of a wrestler. He needs to stick to his day job, man. Whoo!
But it
That
gives
was terrible.
it gives unmelodic people like me hope that maybe one day I get my
Hey, as a man who fronted his own band, I know a little bit about singing. I got a pretty decent voice. If you've seen some of these episodes, if you heard me sing or do like the Mr. Anderson or the Ladies and Gentlemen Road Dogg style, like I've got a decent enough voice. And Sammy was he was killing it in the opposite direction. It was like, oh, ears dying, gotta go. But I see why other people like it. That's cool. It's just for me. Like that would be my bad, if anything.
shout out to Robert in the Facebook comments. Agreed. Sammy was funny. Then we got
So he
Peter.
did.
Peter saying that his good. He loved the FTR, which is gonna segue into probably
Yes.
what I'm gonna guess is yours. Good, right, Tom? Was that gonna be yours?
Oh,
the
my
FTR?
good. Well, before I get into my good, I'm going to take this off. I wore it for Brucey because he's not going to be here today. We tried to get Scarf Strong, but I got to be honest with you. I don't know how you do this, homie. This thing is itching my neck the whole damn time. So I'll just rock the MJF shirt in your honor, buddy. We love you. My good, and my good might have been great, and that was the TNT title match, man. I mean, Cody versus Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy was so great in that match. It was back and forth. Cody was busted open. It was some high drama, some great spots, and at the end, Cody pulls out a very, very close win. And in that match, you didn't really think there were any losers at that point, because Jungle Boy showed out, and Cody proved like he'll do whatever it takes to keep this championship and keep this schedule he's been talking about. So I thought it was great. Like that was my good. And FTR, Peter, by the way, I'm loving that too. Like I like FTR more now than I did in their entire run in WWE already. So I can't wait to see him get in a ring because they ain't done jack yet, and I love them. So that's cool. Now let's flip to from AEW to NXT. What was your good from NXT last night?
Definitely gonna have to go with that main event. That the conclusion of the cruiserweight interim tournament. Like you said, another match where, despite one man losing the match, both came out winners. We saw Hijo del Fantasma walk off with the strap, and then Drake offered that contract in what has to be the feel good moment of the week for every wrestling fan.
Right.
That was definitely my highlight of NXT.
Yeah, that was the part for me because like I wasn't mad at Phantasma winning. I like him a lot. I loved him in Lucha Underground, and so him winning, I was very excited about. But then the reality hit like, oh shit, Drake is gone, and you can see him getting upset and walking up the ramp, and all of a sudden here comes Triple H, and I'm like, what's he gonna do? And he hands him a contract that says you earned this, and I'm like, oh. And some say the Psycho's heart grew 3 sizes in that moment. Because even me sitting there like I'm not the biggest Drake Maverick fan. I admitted it from the minute he cut that video. But when he got that contract, I had a little bit. I don't know, like it's summertime, the pollen. It was seasonal allergies is what I'm blaming it on. So it looked like I was crying, but I wasn't crying. I swear. Okay, maybe not. You'll never know because you weren't here. Ha! My word against everyone's. But yeah, that was a wonderful, wonderful moment for both, for Phantasma and for Drake, because he showed out in that tournament. He deserved that title. Like, I originally picked Kushida, and I'm not even mad he didn't win. You know?
Interesting to see where this goes with those the masked marauders. What do you want to call them? The masked, the kidnappers. They're with their
whoever do we know who those guys are, or like why
No,
they're just snatching people up left, right, and center, and
Yeah.
coming after Phantasma for some reason? Like, why all the mask on mask crime? I don't get it. Did he does he owe you money from back in Mexico? Like, can we get a little bit of an explanation as to why they're doing this? Because it's been happening for like, I don't know, a month.
Yeah.
But nobody said anything, knows anything. It's like, oh, well, that makes sense. All right, let's go back to the comments before I give you my good. It's just, yeah, we saw Hayden. Sammy was funny. We got Dynamite. Oh, Kristen says she will confirm that I have a good voice. Thank you. Like, we go back a long ways. We were friends. We were everything. And she used to listen to me sing all the time. And okay, I love you. I still love you. You're awesome. Robert said the TNT Championship should be AEW's workhorse title, and it will be, especially if Cody's going to defend it the way that he says he will, with an open challenge on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
Like, there's your workhorse title. You're absolutely right.
You're gonna have to get creative with the way you
He had also said FTR got people buzzing, and I never knew Drake was really good as a sympathetic face. I didn't either, because he's never been in that role. He's always been in like these goofy, evil, or healer face roles, but he's never been that like sympathetic, woe is me, pulling that emotion out of you kind of guy, or gimmick, until now, and it worked beautifully. So, good for him. I'm glad he got a contract. I'm sure somewhere EC3 is pissed, but we're gonna get into that a little later too. Oh, Peter, he's a sadly not seen NXT, but glad Drake got his contract. Yeah, I challenge anyone to say, I'm mad that Drake got that deal after all this. Because if you saw that video, and you saw what he tried to do, and you saw the way he got, like, you can't be mad. You just can't. Yeah. Robert comes back. It was a good story. It was a good story. Feel good. Yeah. It was a good story. It was a feel good moment. That's for sure. Again, Peter, I've always liked Spud, but I feel he wasn't used right in WWE. Well, maybe he will be now in NXT. Again, it worked for Finn Balor, so maybe it'll work for him too. Like, time will tell. Oh, and Brian started watching. Hi, Brian. What's happening, homie? Oh, Peter says the guys in the mask are Rey Mysterio's gang. Then where were they when Seth was trying to gouge his friggin' eye out? Like,
where were they when his son was dying and cutting that promo?
Like, don't get me wrong, Peter. I like your theory. I really do. I just, I don't know. I don't think that's how it went down. Because why did they save Ray in the first place? And I can't. And the comments died on me. Isn't that cute? All right. Well, I guess from there I'll go to my good moment for NXT, and that was, if you watched last night, even if you didn't, I'm gonna fill you in. So doesn't matter. There was a triple threat match, and the winners were going to become number one contenders for the tag team titles. And we knew Undisputed Era was going to be in it. We knew Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch were going to be in it because they had been cutting promos saying they want Imperium. We didn't know who the last entrant was going to be. And even at first, like, I'm watching these spacemen run out and like rocket ships pop up, and I'm like, what the hell are we looking at? And then all of a sudden you see the iconic tag team known as Breezango pop up on the ramp, and it's like, oh my God, yes, they need to win. They need that. They need to take those titles. They need it all now, because it's been too long. They've been so good, and they've just been kind of overlooked and pushed away and injured and everything else. So as soon as I saw them, I marked right the fuck out. And lo and behold, match is over, and Breezango is your new number one contenders. So I was losing my mind. I was doing backflips and Superman punching cats. It was ridiculous.
I was
that hyped. He saw it. See, proof. It was ridiculous. That was definitely like I love Drake and all that, but for me, the best moment of the night was getting Breezango back and having them becoming the #1 contenders. Now I'm just hoping they actually have a match at TakeOver against Imperium. I don't know if they're going to save that for TV. They haven't announced anything yet, but it just feels like, you had this big oh shit moment, which you don't get a lot in WWE.
Ride the momentum.
Yeah, so just hop on that rocket that Breezango came out with and shoot this fucking storyline to the moon, like give them the titles.
Infinity and beyond. Ooh.
Yes, exactly. Some Buzz Lightyear shit on this show. And we don't even have a kid here this week. What a shock.
No.
Okay, good. I got comments back. Awesome. Oh, Chuck's watching. Hey, Chuck. By the way, guys, if you're sports fans, Sports Jungle and Sports Cruise, awesome groups. Right here on Facebook. Search for them, invite yourself, or find a member. They're great. They're awesome. I'm a big fan of their stuff. I'm a big member there. It's nice that I'm being told your system has low power for your internet. That's cool. I don't need it right now anyway. But yeah, I'm glad you showed up, Chuck. Nice to have you. Woo! Always got to give the live shout outs. I do what I can when I can, homie. Now we got to get into. I kind of named my bad for AEW, but if you had to pick a bad from AEW Dynamite, what would you go with?
Not so much bad as like questionable.
Close enough.
Lance Archer in the woods in like a Blair Witch compound, or what was I kind of didn't really understand.
In like the Murder Hawk's nest? I didn't get that.
Yeah. I'm not really sure where
it just felt like it because there were all these branches and dirt and everything else. It felt like the Murder Hawk was putting together a big nest somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Like
his baby is like or something.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
It was questionable.
It was just bizarre. It was weird. I'm not really sure what direction they're going with the character with Jake and like the snake and I guess outdoors maybe. I don't know. I'm intrigued. Don't get me wrong. But if I had to pick like a low part of Impact, I guess it would be that promo that just kind of was like, okay.
Yeah, that was definitely questionable on the verge of bad. Like, especially the way he was just holding Alex Marvez by that AEW blazer. You just thought, like, what did he do? Like, I know you don't need to do much to get Lance Archer to beat the shit out of you, because if you've seen one of his entrances in AEW, you don't have to do anything. Just be there. He'll beat your ass anyway. But it was just the whole segment was kind of like, okay, that was kind of bad. Yeah, I can't argue that. That was pretty bad. My bad is still Sammy singing singing Judas on the way down. Like, nope, cut that out, Cuban B. You need to stop that. It's funny, but it's also annoying. And
if it's not already on iTunes, they need to drop that right now.
If I can keep it a buck for a second, funny and annoying, that's my line of work, not yours. Okay? You're supposed to be a Cuban. I mean, Spanish God. You're not supposed to be annoying and funny. That's me, not you. Okay? We worked that out? Cool. Moving on. You're bad from NXT.
Bad from NXT. The whole opening segment that led to the mixed tag match and that whole kerfuffle and
that led to the Teddy Long moment where it was I'm
not a fan of them doing that. If you know that pretty much you're gonna be giving us a mixed tag match, then promote the mixed tag so all day long we're gonna get hyped that we're gonna have a mixed tag match. Don't give me promote one match and then all of a sudden here comes all these random extra parts with Shotzi and Tegan, who was there serving pizza last week. I don't even know why. And we just had so much randomness, kind of, and they were just like, oh, well, guess what? It's a tag match now. Like,
right? How long ago did we get rid of Teddy Long as GM? Because he was synonymous for the shit. Like, if you guys can't get along, you gonna have a tag match, player, and we go straight from a singles match into some kind of tag team match. We're still doing it on Raw, on NXT, and you've built these you put these matches together that are pretty good, and then you just take them and you're like, hey, let's just fuck them up and make a tag team match. Why?
It's like almost like they booked it just to get a laugh. Like, hey, you know what would be funny? Johnny will wrestle in skinny jeans.
Right.
He's unprepared. Like,
if Johnny Gargano looks like the hipster version of Yosemite Sam when he goes in to fight Keith Lee, that would be funny. Not so much.
I think I hear a grandma.
Oh, somebody's knocking at the door.
I smell grandma's fresh baked cookies.
Hey! I thought I smelled liniment. What's going on, girl?
The word is originals.
She's back. She's back. She's eating. It's perfect.
I got Taco Bell.
The show is now complete.
Oh, you gotta share.
I got some spicy potato taco, and I got, what is this? Orange Blossom Honey Ale. What?
Fancy.
I'm over here drinking water.
I'm drinking what may or may not be Irish coffee. I can't confirm nor deny.
You can neither confirm nor deny now. If you see me scoop, because there's lightning and thunder over here, and I'm just like, oh my god! I don't do well with that.
She needs to go grab Jose and be like, Thunder Buddies for life.
Good. Speaking of Jose.
Oh my God, there's the furry bastard himself. Okay, we don't need to give you a tonsil exam. Like, I don't need to know all this about you, homie.
Britt Baker's not here. Sorry, we can't help.
Oh, and there's PETA saying hi, Grandma.
My balls.
And Chuck talking about Taco Bell.
You guys just drop his balls right there.
Even Stu, like, Grandma, hi Stu, by the way, we saw you were running a little late. It's okay, we were running a little late too. Brian says, hey Wendy. Peter's like, I also want to join the chat one day. You just might. You just might. Hot or mild sauce, Wendy?
Mild because it's late.
Okay, there you go, Chuck. I would have gone hot sauce myself. In fact, I did because I had Taco Bell tonight too. I just grabbed a bunch of quesadillas, poured the hot sauce in, slapping. Delicious.
Hey, shout out to Taco Bell for the little clever saying, because like, when I got the munchies and I'm reading a little hot
the little thing on the hot sauce? Yeah, I've done that too.
Yeah, dude, whoever's in the back, whoever's like typing them up in corporate office, dude, shout out to you, homie.
Right?
I think that was the first time I ever figured it out. I read on a hot sauce thing. When your ears burn, it's because somebody's talking about you. I was like, no way, really?
Oh.
All right. Okay, so we were talking about the bad moments from NXT, and you had brought up the whole Johnny, Candace, Keith Lee car key moment. Because the car keys too. Where did Johnny have those car keys in them skinny jeans, man? There was no room, none, because it was a huge thing of car keys too.
Like,
you can't get those in those pockets.
As someone who wears lady pants that are generally and for the most part kind of tight, I have to agree. I don't even know. You got to have like an extra person to carry that stuff.
As somebody who's married to a woman whose pockets are painted onto her pants, you cannot fit a huge thing of keys in those fucking pockets. There's no way. I could not have fit that sack of keys in my Jenko pocket. It was that bad. But yeah, I'm gonna say my bad from NXT. Wow. God. I have to agree with you. Like there wasn't a whole lot, but that's the one that sticks out for me is that the way they turned a singles match that they had built and cut promos over into a tag match that led to Johnny Gargano trying to put his keys in Keith Lee's eyes so he didn't get powerbombed. That whole thing was just like, okay, this is weird. Like we don't need to have this happen.
I actually did not get a chance to watch it, but I did see some stuff posted around here and there, various Twitter pages or Facebook pages, and yeah, I have to agree. It is kind of annoying that they did that to the women's match.
It is. And then on top of it, they just stuck Candace and Mia Yim into this rivalry that Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Nox have had with Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez at TakeOver in Your House.
Which beat you up. Raquel Gonzalez is like the tallest Mexican woman I've ever seen. Like 6 feet? What?
Okay,
I didn't know. I didn't know they make them that tall.
I didn't know
Like,
they made them that big. Yeah.
right?
Again,
And you're
that's-
Mexican. You should know.
I'm glad
Oh,
one
yeah.
of you said it because I thought it, but I thought then again maybe I'm wrong. Like I don't know.
I'm Central American. I know my people are not tall, but
They're
damn,
not,
she's a
no.
tall Mexican.
Grandma Wendy in the hizzle. Wow, there are so many people happy that Grandma's here. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
As I've said before, everybody comes to watch Top Rope Wrestling Talk for Grandma Wendy. We're
Just
just
to watch
here.
me eat.
We're just
I'm
here.
myself out. My
We
God.
don't rate.
No.
Robert says, "Can I join the chat?" Not this time, homie. We're when we do like the exclusive live feeds in Facebook, we bring people on, but this is a recording and we've got like a whole list of topics, believe it or not, and it would just mess things up. Maybe next time, homie. We still love you. Keep ask us all if you got questions, ask them. So okay, we've all gotten our bed. Now, was there an ugly moment on either one of these two shows?
Ugly.
Because I have one. I did not like, and Robert brought it up too. I did not like that they not only ended the search for Shawn Spears' tag team partner without a winner, but then Tully said he had the missing ingredient. And when he pops open this locked case, there's a black fingerless glove in it. It's like, really? That's your big missing piece? That's it?
Yeah.
Black glove.
That's so anticlimactic, bro.
Is he going to become the Wednesday Night Messiah, or are we going to change his name to Barry Windham Jr.? Like, where are we going now? First, you wanted him to have a tag team partner. You said you scoured the internet for people sending your videos and all that stuff. And my man Facade,
I was about to send one too.
I was thinking about it myself, but I'm a little old and crotchety. I can't really, Bruce brought that up on the Instagram live feed. Thanks again for that, homie. Really, I appreciate it. Old and crotchety? Really? Really? I'm getting all Miz now. Really?
At least you didn't say ornery.
So it just comes all the way around. Really? I'm wearing the shirt for you and everything. I'm getting called old and crotchety. Love you too, bro. I thought about it, though, but you're not going to pick a winner from that. He's not going to have a tag team partner. Instead, he's going to have a glove. That was ugly.
You should at least give it more of a tease, like Pulp Fiction, like where you open it, you see like a
with the
glow.
case.
And you're
Yeah,
like,
I was just thinking that with the
what
light.
is it? And then we don't find out, maybe, and then you can have someone in the back like, what's in the box? What's in the box? Like,
What's in the box?
Yeah, make it.
Make it a thing.
I mean, it wasn't even like a cool like Michael Jackson sparkly glove or like the power glove or nothing from Nintendo. Remember that?
Yeah.
Glove. I mean, like, wasn't it? I guess I don't know.
Wait a minute. Peter says she's not Mexican. I don't know if he was talking about Raquel or Wendy or what, but I don't know. He just said she's not Mexican.
Probably Raquel.
And then he said no Mexican is that tall. Oh, okay. We agree. But apparently,
Whatever
Wendy, she's the new Giant Gonzalez.
Yeah. Just don't wear that furry outfit. That was horrible.
And
that was bad.
And I do agree, Peter.
pain.
Yeah, that was bad. And I do agree, Peter. Like, yes, the Black Glove has been iconic before Seth and Ted DiBiase, Wyndham, and all that. But I don't know what it has to do, A, with Tully Blanchard, or B, with Shawn Spears. Because I don't remember Tully ever wearing one. So why would he be able to just hand one to Shawn Spears? Like, if Barry Windham showed up with that case and gave it to him, okay. But
That
Tully
would've made more
Blanchard?
sense.
Like, that doesn't make any sense. So that's why it was ugly for me. Apparently somebody liked my Miz impression. Oh, Chuck, yes, thank you. Thank you for tuning in again.
I told you got a beautiful voice.
Voice of an
He
angel.
said,
Spot on impression.
all right, I think Robert brings up a good point. So what if we could take a quick question? What's worse, the glove or Rowan's pet?
The pet.
The pet. If the glove was ugly, the pet was putrid. Like it was
You
just
think with the pet from Jump Street from the very beginning when someone pitched, we're gonna have a cage and we're gonna like have a big reveal.
It was that moment. It was that Seven moment.
You
Because
know you can't really have a live
week,
animal.
Every week you were
like
like, "What's in the box?"
No. There was gonna be no way you were gonna be able to pay off a live lizard or scorpion or something cool. So your animatronics wasn't gonna work. It wasn't gonna be.
It was bad.
But it was bad. It was putrid. It was Wendy still scruffing down dinner here, so I'll say it for her. It was hot
chalupa.
Chinatown. Chalupa, dope. It was hot Chinatown garbage, flat out.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm with you.
This beer's good.
Taco Bell garbage.
Did you guys,
And
you
all
guys
the leftover
see?
meat they dumped, that's what it was.
Stu wants to know if we saw the thing with Arn Anderson and the OK. Or the thing with Arn Anderson. Oh, and is he okay? I don't know what he's asking there. Is Arn Anderson okay? Did he get hurt in that Cody match? I don't remember it. I don't remember him doing it.
You signed some like long.
Oh, and Chuck is asking if there's any news on fans going back to watch. Well, Dynamite does have a very small crowd in Jacksonville because they have an outdoor arena and they have people testing. So there's a crowd, but it's way back and it's very small. Wendy's,
I feel like Hermione Granger right now. Like, I know.
Okay, I'm going to kick it to Grandma Wendy because she has an answer for this.
I read somewhere that Florida is allowing a limited number of fans back in the audience, but there wasn't a specification as to what that number is.
I've already seen, which you've already seen in Jacksonville. So
yeah, I had heard that not wrestling specific, but for large gatherings in arenas, they were talking in Florida because they're in the pocketbook. We won't go there, but they're saying maybe 50%. That's the number I heard. It was 50% in Florida. So that you know what I mean.
Because even other sports right now, like the NBA is supposed to be coming back at like the end of July in Orlando. It's like almost all but 8 teams, and they're going to start out, I think, without a crowd, and then start slowly letting a certain amount of people come in. Like we're going to get partial crowds for now. We're going to see how things go, and then we're going to kind of move up from there. So I'm not sure exactly, but that's at least all we have so far. When we get more, you guys will get more, because that's how we do here at Top Rope Wrestling Talk.
You can definitely see WWE is taking steps and precautions with that plexiglass, because you know that it's there. Number
That's
one,
not for wrestlers
for safety, but it's for aesthetically as fans as we watch the shows. We're gonna get used to it. We're gonna see the plexiglass become second nature.
Yes.
So when they actually do start letting fans in and people are in the crowds, we're gonna look at the glass as being, it's like I said, second nature. We're not gonna question it anymore. Because if you brought fans in for the very first week and put them behind glass, imagine the uproar. They'd be like, "What's going on?"
No,
people are already like,
as soon as they put that up, as soon as they put that glass up, I knew that wasn't for wrestlers. Especially when they let all the wrestlers come down the ramp to stop Drew and Bobby that first week. It was like, obviously, you're not trying to keep them away. You're setting this up so that fans can get used to it, like you said. So, and Stu, my man, gave us a little history lesson that DiBiase and Tully were actually partners in San Antonio. Okay, yes. I vaguely remember that, Stu, but did Tully wear the glove back then? Because I can't remember that. If he did, then maybe it makes a little more sense, but they should have kind of, done that for some of the youngins or people that didn't know, like, yeah, here's why. Definitely the pet. Yeah, everybody's agreeing on the pet. Chuck said, thanks, Grandma, for filling him in.
Oh, you're welcome, baby.
Let's see. Robert says something about with ratings. I didn't get the ratings.
I had to laugh just now at Brian's. I'll go a step past putrid. The skit when Mae Young gave birth to a hand.
Oh, that was terrible.
That was.
That might have been the ugliest moment in wrestling. Like if the brawl for all was like the stupidest idea for a televised event, then the hand storyline was probably the worst.
The hand made me laugh though, whereas
it did make me laugh a little bit, but at the same time you're like, what? A hand? Like, nah.
Like old rubber.
And even Chuck says wrestling hockey style. Yeah, they even had a little bit of a hockey fight on NXT. Like Keith Lee pulled Johnny Gargano's jacket over his head and just started hitting him in the midsection while his hands were up.
Who was it that got thrown into the glass on Monday? I think it was. That was actually good use of it. I was like,
that was good.
I'm not at the glass anymore.
You got to picture like when there's gonna be like rowdy fans there and like something's going on, like
Henry,
like pounding on the glass like hockey style. That's like reverberates. Is gonna be like, I think
it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, it's different, and fans are gonna have to get used to it. But like I said, it's gonna have spots where we're gonna get like smeared against the glass, and you're gonna see the camera on the side. Like,
They're gonna get like
Right?
slow motion cameras across the glass so you can see, you know.
Yeah.
That'll be cool though.
Crime
I look forward to
blood
seeing
on the
that.
glass. It's gonna be good. I'm excited. You know, they're gonna get creative with that.
No,
Hopefully,
Definitely.
I'm definitely excited for it too. I want to see.
The more
I want to see
the
if
glass,
AEW does it, but that's it.
Oh no, they won't. But the more I see the glass at WWE stuff, the more okay I am with it. At first, I was like, "Really, you guys? Like, just put
At
a
first,
mask
I
on your
thought-
audience." But now
My
I'm
first
all,
thought, because I
get with
didn't
it.
see it, but my first thought was like, you will not be able to see somebody coming down a ramp because the way they put the security wall and then the glass, but they made the whole wall just plexiglass.
Yeah,
You can actually see people walking down there. I was like, okay, now I see you, WWE. All right,
Yeah.
I got you. We're cool. You know. So yeah, it's definitely interesting. I'm interested to see like if AEW goes indoors, will they do the same thing? Because obviously they don't need to at Daly's place, but if they try another venue, will they do that?
yeah.
And will other companies pick up on that so they can get back into business? Because I know there's a few out there that have been kind of like on the fence, like maybe we'll bring in a crowd, maybe we'll get a show going again, but they haven't really decided yet. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Peter. Impact still doesn't have wrestlers ringside. I saw that on Tuesday. Yes, that's true. At least we won't have to see the goon with checking people into the glass. Oh, the goon. You had to love WWE back then. They were so
Right.
fucking corny. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, with the wrestling boots that had like the lift to look like it was the skate. Remember that?
Yes. Yes. Now, since we're getting into our viewers' questions live here on Facebook from our Top Rope Wrestling Talk group on Facebook, come pop yourself an invite. We're a public group. You can find us Top Rope Wrestling Talk. We're awesome. Come check us out. These guys know. These guys know. Now that we've answered some of their questions, let's take a question from a fan on Twitter because it actually pertained to something I already brought up and I'm kind of dying to talk about. Once again, it's Kadrian Webb on Twitter, who we love. He's always firing questions off. And please don't be afraid to add us if you got something you want us to talk about. He asked, who would you like to see challenge Cody Rhodes for the AEW TNT Championship? And he actually gave us a list of people, and none of those people are on the roster. So I'm going to run them down for you. We've got Kurt Angle, Sting, Jeff Cobb, Marty Scurll, who Bruce loves if you watch this show, Nick Aldis, wow, Flip Gordon, Ricky Starks, who is now a free agent, and of course, Miro. Out of those guys, who would you want to see Cody defend the AEW title against?
I'm torn between Miro and Ricky Starks, and the reason is I love Miro.
Triple threat.
He was great, you know, in WWE and all that, and he was great when he did his thing before WWE. I would like to see him have more opportunities post it. I'm hesitant though because, of course, you're gonna have the smarks out there just like, ew, another WWE guy. Just fucking choke on my dick with that, okay?
I don't even. Again, I already busted that wrestling nut. I'm like, yeah, here you go.
You right?
Nap time.
But I would like to see Ricky Starks because he was fun to watch in NWA, and I think he
was very
great. Fun. Yeah, I think he would definitely have a great match with Cody.
Pretty Ricky? Oh, hell yeah.
Right? Stroke Daddy, come on.
If I had to pick one of those, just considering the circumstances, like in the middle of the match where he won the TNT title, he did a Stinger splash. I'm going to say Sting. Just for that, like, yo, you stole my move. I'm coming to steal your belt. Cut, print, done. Plus, he's Sting. I love Sting. I don't care how old he is. I love him. All right, Evil Evan, who you got for this one?
For a quick, like, one-off, like a random Dynamite, I would love to see Jeff Cobb come back. Because we saw him be used almost as like a hired goon. You know,
by the Inner Circle.
Yeah, you know, later, you know, someone else calls him back and says, remember this guy? He's back. And you even show him, you know, hand him a wad of cash. Jeff Cobb, you know, shove in the singlet and go suplex Cody around a little. Doesn't have to take the belt.
I could,
take Cody to the limit.
I could definitely see MJF doing that. Like, here's some money.
Yeah,
take him out for me.
Kind of soften him up and not really even care about winning the belt. Take it to a time limit draw and just demolish as a part of a storyline. Because just 'cause I'm a big Jeff Cobb fan, I would love to see Cobb
I
come
am
back in
too.
there and get another shot.
I
If we're
definitely
gonna
am
talk
too.
about who would I like to see come and take the belt off of Cody and be that like big surprise, I'm gonna go with Miro. I was a huge fan, man. The guy rode in on a tank. Come on, man. Who gets to say they did that? Another WWE guy, let them go ahead. I got this big jug right here, and I'll fill it with all the tears of all the crybabies saying about WWE fans, and I'll drink them all up because I don't care.
We'll put
If
the
it's a good
overflow
match,
here.
if it's a good match,
your
a
tears.
good storyline. If you're giving me something of quality, two wrestlers, I don't care where they work. I don't care what they used to be called. I don't care if they were from Bulgaria, if they were Stardust. It's fresh, it's new, it's a matchup, and they're like I said, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
I would love to see him get a shot. They tried.
Me
They
too.
brought out a calendar for the guy 2 months into the year. The Rusev calendar came out in February. That's how late WWE was on that rocket. They
And how
dropped the ball
over
with
he
the
already
guy.
was. I know.
Yeah, AEW eventually. You can sneak Lana along in there. Cody with Brandy on his side. Miro with Lana on his side.
Oh man, we got
Money. Where's my wallet? Where's my wallet? Here, take it.
we got Lime Cassidy in the house, by the way. Hey man, what's
What's up,
happening?
Lon?
He's asking Wendy, what you drinking?
I responded in the chat,
Oh,
but I'll let you know. It is Center of the Universe Brewing Company out in Ashland, Virginia. What's up, you guys? B, Orange Blossom Honey Ale.
nice.
It's pretty tasty.
Okay, so we had we had Stu agree with Cobb, and we had Chuck agree with Sting. I didn't see that you answered that, by the way, because I was too busy.
You're fine.
I was too busy reading Chuck's story about Virgil. I don't know if we should put that in or not. Oh, fuck it. Let's do it. He said, one of my great moments was running into Virgil at a dog track in Florida. I was messing with him. $1 Million Man eating lobster and treats you like shit. You down here hustling with $2 tickets and drinking beer. I loved it. Virgil started wrestling soon after.
Awesome.
Good for you, dude. Get on his ass. The guy's a dick anyway. Whatever he's calling himself these days. I need a job, Jones. All right, let's see. Oh, Stu says Virginia is the best beer state in the country. You're not completely wrong. I really do. There's a few up in Pennsylvania too. Trust me. I've been to the breweries, but Virginia is damn good. It's damn good.
Here we have some good old dogs. Shout out to
All
old
right,
dogs.
so now that we hit the good, the bad, the ugly, and we just went off on all our viewer questions and stuff like
Peter's
that.
off to bed. Night,
Aw.
Peter.
Good
night, Peter.
Well, yeah, I mean, in the United Kingdom, it's almost 3 a.m.
Ass crack of dawn.
and he's up chilling and he's up watching us, like that dude.
Right? We love you, Peter.
That's why I do this in group when we record our episodes, I do it in group because there are people that are willing to stay up to 3 a.m. just to comment with us. It's like, okay, we're doing it here. Fuck it. Where it all started. We love you guys. We're doing it here. And we feel the love back. So thank you, Peter. Now, if we had to pick somebody from the AEW roster to be the next in line take on Cody, who would that be? Because I'm kind of leaning towards and Brucey's not here, so I'm going to say MJF and then MJF. And if he loses, MJF again. Was that a close enough Brucey impression?
Yeah, just about. I think, I have to agree. I would like MJF, and then I would like Wardlow to turn on him and go for the title himself. Maybe not win it, but as long as he turns on MJF.
Wardlow, who I've now dubbed Grandma's sex toy. Like just it's got a crank and it's wooden and it's got a finish, but it's Grandma's sex toy. Just come here, Big Daddy. Like that's Wardlow. Exactly. I'm so stupid. I'm sorry.
I'm so fucking dead right now.
I'm sorry. Evil Evan has to follow this. Who do you think Cody?
Honestly, when they did that whole show of respect with Jungle Boy and Cody, I was really hoping that we'd see Luchasaurus maybe give a little tug at the title, do a little suggestive, have a counter like, hey, did you catch Luchasaurus? Looking at the title, giving a glare, something to tease, because that man, that's a big guy, and I would love to see him and Cody go at it. I would love to see Luchasaurus get a little more spotlight. I know he was injured for a while, and so he kind of wasn't around. But he's back. He's big, and he's a
And he's
fucking
great.
wrestling dinosaur. How could you not
Right?
love that?
No,
Yeah, that's
you
my
know I
pick.
love Luchasaurus. So if he gets a shot, I'm gonna be so happy. If he doesn't win, I might riot, but I'm not gonna go that far because that's in bad taste right now. So, so yeah, I would love to see Luchasaurus win that, or at least get a shot. He's a great wrestler. He's such a good big man. Like that would be so cool. And Wendy's still giggling over the toy comment.
He's still cranking it
Bring the casket.
like
She's
butter,
dead.
butter churn. Turning that butter.
She's
kinda
so dead.
warm in
There's no need for embalming. Just bring the casket. She's dead.
Just drop me right in that hole. Don't bother with the casket. Just drop me right in it.
That's what Wordlow said.
Ayo!
Sorry, I didn't have the soundboard up. Had to do it on my own. I can't watch these questions and run the soundboard at the same time. It's coming from the same place. It is.
We sacrifice our sounds for you guys, the fans.
We did because we love you.
Yeah. Now we be like, that's hot, and we pushing out kind of cool stuff.
I got to go back to the soundboard for a moment though, because our next topic starts with a, if I can find the sounds, with a keep it or kill it, and it goes a little something like this. Sonny is turning into the next Jim Cornette. Keep it or kill it. Why don't we let the lady go?
Keep that one.
You know
Definitely.
what? We're gonna go old school now. It's not working. Of course, it's not working. We're gonna go old school one time.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Thank you for working. All right, Evil Evan, keep it or kill it. Sonny is the next Cornette.
Yeah, keep it.
All right.
Garbage. Burn them both.
That's hot.
Yeah.
Dump them both on.
I gotta.
Chinatown garbage. That's them right
Yeah,
there.
she is.
I gotta.
Cover
I
the
gotta
chow
go.
mein and all that.
I gotta go right along with you, and I gotta say keep it.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
She's just straight up
Sonny is
trash.
She just straight up like all the shit on Twitter between someone who has already been to jail repeatedly, calling all protest, not even riots, not even looters, all protesters criminals.
Yep.
And then the whole thing that she had on Twitter as well with like Jordan Grace.
Honestly, why are you gonna come after Grace? Like, are you of all the people?
Of everyone. Of anyone you go after,
I
you go after Jordan Grace.
for it.
And you actually say
Right?
to her, I hope we meet at a convention because I'd love to whip that ass. I'm like, oh.
And she called her a fat ass.
And
she
she-
called Thick Mama Pump a fat ass. I'm like, girl.
All right.
You?
No, go ahead, please. You first.
I'm
Lady
like,
first.
really? You coming? Really? I think I hear the kettle going.
Yeah.
And not even because Grace is thick and in shape. There's a big
Yep.
difference.
These are facts. These are definite facts.
Mhm.
Now, if you've gotten that out of your system, Grandma, I'm sorry, but
Daddy needs to express some rage.
some big time rage. And that's the fact that you're sitting here talking about the way Jordan Grace looks when you're making people pay to see you naked on camera, and your little snaggletooth ratchet ass can't even do that right. Like you were a shit manager, you were a shit wrestler, you were hot like 20, maybe 30 years ago, and we all did a little show research on Sonny because I thought, well, maybe she still got. No, I've seen them recent videos
While
now.
taking a dump.
Sonny, I'm gonna be totally a buck, 1,000, whatever you want to call it. I'm old school. I'm gonna keep it real with you for a second, okay, boo boo? You ought to pay me to look at your stupid ass. All right. I don't know who's desperate enough to pay for those things, but keep doing you if it makes that money, but you ain't getting mine. And by the way, if you are paying, just go to Pornhub. You'll find your shit.
Yeah.
I just saved you money.
Yeah, like Geico.
Seriously.
And with that being said, we're starting a Patreon account. No, I'm kidding. I had to get it out there. Like so horrible, so ignorant, so like I don't want to throw the R word out there if it's not completely accurate, but on the verge, if not racist. Like just fuck you, bitch. And
Really?
and you know why she's corny too? Because every time we say something nice about her, she does something fucking stupid.
Oh my god.
And then we look like shit because, like, we were talking about how, okay, at least she's making money. She's turned her life around an episode or two ago. And then she comes out and pulls this shit. And you're like, really? We talked up corny, and then he pulled all that shit with Becky. And it's like, really, dude? Like, why are you trying to fucking bury us before we get off the ground? Seriously,
Honestly.
you had your time. Can we get ours? Is that cool with you? Can you just be cool and be nice for like a week after we say something about you? Is that too fucking hard? I mean, I don't know if I want to go into. I'm not going to say, hey, Wendy, let's go into all the tweets and all the bullshit and all the hate.
Not worth it.
Because it's not even worth it. Like, your 15 minutes are up, bitch. Bye, Felicia. We're moving on. We're moving on to something that came directly from Grandma's house, and that's a Throwback Thursday topic, which I think our fans will actually love.
Counts for you guys, the fans.
Because
We
it's
did.
all
We love
about
it.
wrestling. And now my live feed pops up. I love technology. I'm sorry. So the throwback Thursday question that Wendy brought us was
So this came up on my Twitters, and I was discussing it with the husband. Oh, here it is. It's like the third picture on my. It's all memes and this. Who's the better? Oh, this was from. I will give him a shout out because I follow him on Twitter. Adam Goldberg at Adam Goldberg 28.
okay.
Thanks, you guys. He posted, who's the better wrestler, Shawn Michaels or Bret Hart?
Oh, that's a good one. Like, I know this has been discussed before
Mm-hmm.
ad nauseum, but it has never been discussed by us. And I really do want to talk about this because I know, like, with other sports, when you look at the NBA, you say, like, oh, well, is Kobe better than Michael Jordan? Like, you can go to stats, you can go to this, you can go to that, you go to whatever, and you can kind of prove your point one way or the other. Like, even if their numbers look the same, okay, how many championships did he win? That kind of stuff. You can go through that. But with Shawn and Bret, they're almost equal in like every aspect, as far as like titles, as far as Hall of Fame, as far as everything else. So you really have to go beyond that and start looking at like wrestling as a whole, because it's not just what you can do in the ring, it's what can you do on a mic, how do you sell, like how do you everything. And when it comes to all around, I probably give a slight edge to HBK. As far as in-ring, technical wrestling, Bret Hart has to be. In every other category, it's pretty much HBK by nose. So I'm going to say Shawn Michaels.
So the husband and I were talking about this, as I mentioned, and we came to this conclusion that as a technical wrestler, Bret Hart, hands down, all the way. Being a product of Stu Hart's dungeon, and being part of the Hart family legacy. Of course, he had a lot to live up to. And he definitely, technically speaking, skills speaking, was definitely far superior. Shawn Michaels was a natural talent.
Yes.
But as is the case for many people, partying was his downfall. If he took the time to better hone his craft, he could have been on par, if not better, than Bret Hart.
This is true.
Charisma-wise, on the mic, having that uniqueness and nerve, definitely better. He brought a little extra to it. But I think that's like the only time the partying came in handy. Because he was like the life of the party, basically. When he entered that ring, cut a promo, did anything, he just livened up the place. Yeah, I agree with Brian. Shawn was definitely an entertainer.
Yeah, I agree with that too. He was definitely an entertainer. Bret Hart by a galaxy mile as a wrestler. Yeah, but this thing, where Bret kind of had that one wrestling style, Shawn kind of mixed wrestling styles together in a time where it wasn't done. Like, he did a lot of the high-flying stuff. He did a lot of the technical stuff. He did, just mix and match pieces. And Bret was more of a very strictly technical guy. So that also kind of gives me, like, a little bit, like, I hate wearing pink and black and saying Shawn Michaels. I feel like I'm being blasphemous, but I have to say it.
But again, had he taken the time to hone his craft,
by far,
taken the time to focus himself and actually developed his skills and his talent.
Look at how good Shawn was when he came back all those years later, after being on the shelf and being out of it, and kind of refocusing his life and finding God and all that good stuff. He was probably better than Bret Hart in the ring then, you know. So your point is absolutely backed up by his comeback with, you know, and all that. And I feel bad because we keep going back and forth. The poor evil Evan is up here like waiting his turn.
Like,
I'm gonna go get a snack. Go ahead.
No, don't worry, because I'm that guy. I'm that like conspiracy guy who like lives in the Rick and Morty parallel universes exist world. And in my parallel universe, what if that Montreal screw job hadn't happened and Brett had to stay with WWE? In 97 on, he would have continued. We saw him move to WCW and they didn't know how to use him. They
No.
NWO, they didn't know what to do. I mean, like, you had like money handed to you with the best there is, the best there was, all that, right?
best
And
there ever
somehow
will be.
they fumbled it.
They
And then
took
I'm not going to be that guy who
they
I'm
took
not gonna be
chicken
that
salad
guy
and
who-
made chicken shit flat out.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to be the guy who blames Willie G. But if that kick hadn't happened and in Bret Hart's career early, you mentioned Shawn Michaels, his, you know, the second half of the career, he came back in 2002 and had a bit of a resurgence, and the later half with, you know, Bret Hart never had that opportunity to have a later half. He was badly stroked and fighting for his fucking life because of that errant concussion. And I'm not saying that Will Goldberg was to blame for ending his career, but let's not say that Bret Hart's career wasn't cut short and we didn't really get that second half to see what could have evolved. And had he not left WWE in that whole, you know, 97 era, who knows what amazing things they could have done with him and Owen. They could have paired them up. They could have gone even deeper with their storyline. There was so much Neidhart. They had Bulldog, Tillman. There was so many components that they could have played with them being the hated in America but loved in Canada.
Right.
And then with Stone Cold coming in and with The Rock coming in, imagine what they could have done with Bret Hart in that era. Imagine with Owen and Bret together.
I know.
Power Trip could have been a whole different meaning to it.
I still imagine
and
the kind of stuff.
I'm not going to be that conspiracy guy who wants to play, you know, blame game and all that. But let's not act like Shawn didn't have the click on his side.
True.
Getting him ahead of the game. He was
True.
2 steps ahead of every wrestler because he had that backstage pull. And Bret Hart had to, you know, I get it. He was a Hart and he had his own little, you know, connection with McMahon. But when Shawn Michaels wanted the belt, he got the belt. When Shawn didn't want the belt, he dropped the belt.
That's what I was just about to say.
In that era.
There are two people you can blame in this situation. One was Vince McMahon for letting Bret go and putting the title on Shawn when he wasn't exactly in the game, like when he was still partying. Hang on one second. Okay, sorry. Had a little in my throat.
Had a little Rona.
I hope not. Fuck. Don't wish that on me, woman. Okay.
Knock on wood.
Now, the second person I blame is Eric Bischoff because he had Bret Hart coming in off one of the biggest scandals in wrestling at the time. And his idea of introducing the man that was screwed and called out WCW in the middle of a pay-per-view after a main event, the way we're going to introduce him is we're going to make him a special referee.
Yep.
In case you didn't know that, if you haven't seen the Screwjob Dark Side of the Ring, if you've been living under a rock, like I said, MJF style at the beginning of the show, that's exactly how they brought Bret Hart in as the special guest referee.
That was like being given filet mignon as your dinner option and saying, nah, you know what? Give me some off-brand hot dog instead.
I'll take Spam. I'm good.
Yeah.
Like special guest referee. Like, yeah, I know it was Sting and Hulk Hogan, but still, special guest referee. That's how you bring this dude in, and from there it just got worse. So you know, a lot of it has to do with the booking on either side. On the way out of WWE, on the way into WCW, they dropped the fucking ball on both sides. The WWE managed to survive. WCW didn't. If they didn't drop the ball on Bret Hart, they might have been in business, and they might not have sold out.
Like what if Vince McMahon had, you know, fulfilled that 10-year contract and Bret was there and I don't know. Like I said, I don't like to play.
Could we all agree that Owen would have never had that blue blazer gimmick if Bret Hart was around for another 10 years? Yeah. Can we all agree that?
I have a question for you guys. It just came to me.
Randos, shoot.
If Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels were in their prime today, what promotions would they be in?
Ooh. Wow. I gotta think Sean would be in NXT because he just loves Triple H. He loves that guy, and as far as I don't know if he's still at his prime after that screw job, I think he'd probably be at AEW. Like, could you imagine Bret Hart versus Chris Jericho for the AEW title back at
I could see Bret Hart in NWA.
that too? I could see that
I
too.
could definitely see him at NWA. That feels like that'd be more
Like,
his place.
I don't see either one of them fitting into like main rosters on WWE. It just doesn't feel right. Not with what they got going and the way they've been treating talent, just flat out. But yeah, I could definitely see Bret Hart like NWA or AEW. Shawn Michaels NXT because Triple H would be his boss and he'd probably be the happiest guy on earth.
Yeah,
And
I'm
he'd
going
be a
in-
22-time NXT champion.
I'm gonna go in it in the mindset that these are like two fresh indie talents that have like no connections and no prior
yeah.
ties. If we're talking like Bret Hart coming straight out of
I was going on
and
connections.
that kind of deal. If that's the way that we're gonna play the game, then I could see Shawn Michaels going to AEW with a little flashier style. Him and Phoenix,
I could
maybe
see
getting
that.
into some crazy matches. Getting into that more high flyer. Whereas Bret Hart, that grounded technical style, I could see him in like the Undisputed Era kind of role where they're good in the ring and they're not technicians, but promos lack a little something. Let's not, not lie.
Yeah.
That's where I would go. I would go Brett, like the technical NXT, who's gonna, chin lock you for the camera like you like. Whereas Sean's gonna get the 10-foot ladder and fly off of Orange Cassidy or something.
Right.
I could see him have like.
Chuck, thank you for putting this up in Sports Cruise. I know I gave you guys a shout out, but that was awesome of you to share it over there. We appreciate you. Go ahead, Wendy. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, I could. Yeah, no. If we're looking at it that way, Evan's way, I could definitely see Shawn Michaels in AEW. Definitely because of the Flash, and he could definitely have like a great rivalry with MJF. Actually, like the party boy, fun guy versus like the preppy, douchey, rich guy kind of thing.
Right.
That would have been grert.
No, that would have been awesome.
Shit.
Yeah.
Sean, the little biker cap, Sean. That's the Sean. Yeah. That's AEW Sean right there.
Yes. Oh, that would be so perfect.
Yeah, that would have been so perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And I did love that Stu, back when we were telling that story about when we were talking about Sonny, Stu said that Sonny is Virgil with tits. She's not corny. She's a thought. She's basically Virgil with tits.
Yeah. Try to get that fuck money, literally.
Oh, Stu, I love you. Let's see. Ed. Oh, Peter actually came back and said Shawn Michaels, and then especially in NXT. Okay. Brian said, I'm still pissed the fuck off they continued over the edge after Owen died. Yeah, you and me both. I think a lot of people were.
Oh yeah, it was a crime scene.
Even watching it live.
Yeah, I had always just thought of, as like a human being, kind of like with the heart, thinking like, oh shit, like someone died, you should stop the show. It never really dawned on me the fact that it was a crime scene that they technically were tampering with.
Yeah,
Right?
they were walking all over it,
Yep. Yeah.
Like they're wrestling in a ring, and he literally broke the boards when he hit the ring, and they're wrestling on it.
You do your spot on that side, guys. The producers just
right,
stay away from the corner.
Because God forbid we get somebody hurt after we get somebody killed. That would just be a horrible night. Like, fuck. I remember watching that live, and I thought, show's over. He's dead. And when they kept on with the show, I was like, okay, maybe I'm overreacting a little bit because there's no way they'd keep going if he was dead. And then later on in the show, JR announced he was dead, and then they were like, on to the next match. What? No, shut this shit down. What is wrong with you?
It was a very emotionally conflicting kind of thing.
We got Peter back again. I thought he was going to bed.
Peter.
We love you, Peter. He said Shawn versus MJF would be awesome, but Brett versus Daniel Bryan would be good too.
Those would be clips.
Like all that. Just, like art. No lie. Yeah, it would. I would definitely love to see Bret Hart versus Daniel Bryan. Like, oh my god.
Stu said Brett, the Canadian member of Imperium. Yeah,
Yes.
that would be great too. That would definitely be a great match there.
Oh my God. Oh, that was another thing. You know, we had brought up, Wendy wasn't here, but we brought up Clark Street Wrestling, and because they want to do a cross promotional show with us, and we're trying to work that out. They had a question when I listened to, it might have been their last episode or the one before last. Sorry guys, I'm a little behind, but I'm catching up quick because you guys are awesome. Check them out too. The question was, would you rather receive a Mike Tyson punch or a Walter chop? Like if you had to pick one.
Mike Tyson in his prime or Mike Tyson now? Because there is a difference. It's
I don't know if there's much of a difference.
Gonna hurt.
Have you seen that man? I don't know if there's much of a difference.
It's still gonna hurt, but in youth there's a little bit more oomph to it. So
true, but
tell me I'm wrong.
You're not. But I don't care if it's then or it's now or it's 50 years from now. I'll take the Walter chop, thank you. Like my chest has been read before. Go ahead. I don't want to know how hard Mike Tyson can punch. I just don't. I saw that man crumble people bigger than him with one punch in 8 seconds. He will kill me. Walter might put me in the hospital. There's a huge difference there. At least I get to live. Plus, I get to chill in the hospital for a while. I got nurses. I got drugs. Yay!
Mike Tyson getting chopped in the tits, though. Oof. Okay. I may not have much, but I have just enough to make it hurt.
Okay. I got A cups up in here. You know.
I'm gonna take that punch like a champ.
Oh.
Won't be the first time. I'll take it.
Grandma got more balls than me. Okay.
I'm taking the chop for 3 reasons. Number one, I can like wear a shirt and hide like the big red caved in chest, but like the moneymaker, you ain't breaking this, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
this face has already been fucked up enough. Like this face, if you probably already noticed if you're watching, this face has been hit quite a few times, and it's already just nose broke like 7 times, jaw mangled. You know, I don't really need another one. I look bad enough as is. Okay, I'll take the chop.
Number two reason I take the chop. 8-year-old Evil Evan, little evil flashbacks of NES Mike Tyson Punch Out. Hours and hours, the trauma of trying to beat that guy.
Trying to beat Mike Tyson.
Seeing him face to face, I want to just break down and be like, no.
No, I feel you, dude.
PTSD flashbacks.
That struggle is real. Don't you even joke about that woman. That struggle is real.
Oh, I know. I remember.
We've all been there. Well, at least us. Yeah. We've been there.
Oh, I've been there, brother.
I can take them all down, but Mike Tyson, he's like, and you're like, little Max is gone, and you're like, Mario counts you out. The referee Mario.
Yep. Flashback.
And the last reason I would take that chop is because I know once I go down, I get to hear that sweet song of Imperium. And I'm down. I'm down with that one. I'm down for some classic music. Yeah.
Yes, I'd rather hear that than hear like Tweety Birds going around my head.
I don't know, man. I've taken a few hits to the jaw here and there in my life, and
me too. That's
why it took a lot more to bring me down. And the chop, I've taken a few chops in my day.
I've had some. I've had some bad people hit me. Okay, none of them were on the level of Mike Tyson. Not one.
But I also come from a boxing family, so we know how to take our licks. So you know.
No, me too. I mean, I trained at Mighty Mix, but at the same time, like, he's gonna fuck me up. Because I trained and then I went away. He's still training today. Like, he will fuck you up.
True.
I would definitely. I'd take the chop.
Not only that, when you get knocked out by Tyson, you gotta deal with that crazy homie with the face paint that takes his shirt off and his whole pocket is there laughing at you.
That's true.
Henry Caputo, whatever his name was.
Yeah, I don't want that either.
Who was the guy in that weird raggedy pinkish white shirt with the weird black makeup?
Yeah, they call him Gucci or something.
Yeah.
Name. I don't know.
All I heard was Gucci. I don't know who he is. Yeah. I know he had like Vitor Belfort, Rashad Evans. He had a bunch of like UFC guys, but I don't know who that dude was.
He looks like he
does anybody in here? Because
he looks like he smells like dirty stripper and like old cigarettes.
Like Sonny.
Okay.
Like Sonny. You come up looking like that after a night was sunny with that pain and the raggedy beard. You want to take your shirt off so quick. You're like, oh, it smells like sunny. It smells like sunny.
Yeah.
Get
It's like a
stench off of-
butthole.
Yo, Stu made a
Yeah.
great point because when you get knocked out by Mike Tyson, you don't hear shit. You're just done.
It's just there,
God,
like,
yeah.
At least when you're laid out with Walter, you get to hear the Imperium/Jaws music in
Yeah.
the
And
background.
I can deal
you
with
guys are
like,
making a good point.
While I'm laid out, I can mark out.
Martel, I deal with.
Mm-hmm.
I can
It
live with
hurts, but
Martel.
you're
And guys there. I don't need no masked guy over my face laughing. Funny looking guy.
Bellator or Beltor. Oh yeah, Vitor Belfort and Evans. Yeah, but I don't know who the dude was in the weird pink shirt with the black stuff with the eye black.
He looked like he was a
dude.
little out of it too. Like he had a little too much. I mean, I can
Yeah.
judge because I've only had one can. He looked like he had about six packs at least, and he was just kind of like unsteadily standing, like what? Move! I was like, ew.
Right, like I'm happy I don't have to stand during this show
He
because
looks
I'd
like
probably
he
be
smells
looking
like
like him,
pee.
pink shirt and all. Just whoa. So what's up, guys? And,
No.
welcome to Top Rope.
Just do it, dude. 1 week.
He looked like he smelled like stank hooker pee and old cigarettes, and it was
Yeah.
disgusting looking at him.
He at least looked like he smelled like truck stop blow. That's all.
Yeah.
he just looked
Like
a little
if-
shady. Like
If a truck stop bathroom,
you
was
might want to
included,
clean
it'd
him
be
up
him.
or shut him down, one or the other, because it's not a good look for you.
How are we
Not
cleaning
like I
him up?
know.
Are we taking him out back and hosing him down with cold water and
Can
just
we do
chucking
like
bar
a-
of soap at him, Pulp Fiction style? Because that looks like that's
No,
the
I
only way
wanna
he's
go-
gonna get cleaned up.
I want to go like straight Shawshank Redemption style, where we just delouse his ass with powder. Just
Like Rambo.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going First Blood style.
yeah. First blood
Yeah.
style. There we go.
Mhm.
That works.
Yeah, rest in peace, Dennehy. He just passed away recently, didn't he?
Even PETA is like, I've had a little to drink tonight. Yeah, you were telling me that privately when you were asking, like, when do you guys go on? I was like, okay,
Yeah.
we're coming. I promise. And so we got here and we did this and we're damn near done. It's great. I'm having a good time. I'm glad Grandma showed up because Evan and I were struggling.
As I was eating, I'm just like taco. Oh.
She's
And
like,
now you
oh,
know why I'm so.
gotta
pissed.
come in here and save you, motherfuckers. All right,
Yeah,
so we
we're
got
gonna change his name to Top Rope Grandma Talk.
Top Rope Grandma Talk.
Yeah.
Lord.
Mm. But you know what?
Oh.
Yeah, that's. I think that's all we. That's pretty much. Oh, there was one more thing. That's right.
Okay.
Because it happened a few weeks ago, and we had the interview. We had all this stuff going on. There's been news out there now for a while that Alex Hammerstone and Richard Holiday have re-signed with MLW.
Yes.
Do you guys think this was the right idea for them, or would they have been better off trying, like, go out there and test the market, or maybe join another promotion?
I think if they feel they have unfinished business there, then it's good. It's a good place for them. Kind of like Drake Maverick. If he is happy where he's at, then good for him. Like if they feel this is where they belong at this moment in their careers and they can further themselves this way, go for it. Full support.
Yeah. And even go back to Drake. I wonder if EC3 was in on that shit. I don't know. He's got to be mad right now if he wants it. He's like, I put this guy over. What the fuck? All right, Evil Evan, how do you feel about the dynasty staying put in MLW?
I'm all for it. These guys. I'm not trying to diminish them in any way, so don't twist my words. But right now, they're big fish in a small pond. And in NXT, let's not act like there's not already like a big, log jam of people trying to get to the top. We have guys like Matt Riddle who never even had a chance with the strap, and they're kind of like getting rid of them. But we have so many talented people in there that you would just be another name on the list. Right now, the hot toy is Karrion Kross. So you show up in there and you're already taking a back seat to another guy. The guy has his own black and white entrance. They're lip singing his song in karaoke style. Like they're putting investment on him for NXT. You join that roster and you're already second fiddle. Why? AEW, same thing. Not knocking them. They have so many people that we haven't even seen on Dynamite yet on week to week. We have so many people that they have to give a shot to. We already had a laundry list of guys that Cody could face. Why add your name to just be another on the list? Yeah. MLW, they're top dogs. They get the focus is on them. I think it's a smart move.
No, I do
But
too. I
even
mean,
Stu said it. Like he agreed. He said, "Be the big fish in your pond."
right,
Agreed.
exactly.
Own
You
it.
know,
Own that shit.
I agree with you guys. I'm glad they stayed. I mean, I know Holiday talked about, really becoming a name there and having unfinished business. Alex Hammerstone kind of put it perfectly, where he said, I could have gone to other places, and I could have been a big draw there, and I could have done whatever I wanted to do. I wanted to come back here because I'm building a legacy in MLW.
Mhm.
I'm building a name here. I don't need another promotion to start over in. I can be just as big right here. And he's right, because the man's maybe the only open weight champion they've ever had. He's defended that belt like 10, 11 times already. He's looked great doing it. He's the number one contender for the MLW title whenever they do decide that they're going to come back. Why would you want to then maybe shoot off to NXT and get put in line for the North American Championship eventually? Or go to AEW and hope that maybe you can answer one of Cody's open challenges and probably lose because he's Cody, when you can be such a bigger name and make a bigger impact, no pun intended, on MLW and Fusion. So I get it. I understand what they're trying to do. They understand their role in this company, and that if they stay here, they're going to be at the top of that company for years to come. If they go someplace else, they have to basically start from the bottom. So why bother? It's smart. It really is. There are plenty of people and plenty of proving that you don't really need WWE anymore in order to become a household name.
Tell your own
And guys like Hammerstone especially are proving it with the work they put in the ring, the way they treat people on social media, the things they get involved in. They prove it time and time again. So I'm glad they stuck around. I'm glad we finally got to talk about that, because it was a long time coming. Last thing we're going to bring up, because it was a little odd, and then we're going to get out of here, was the promotional video that Impact put out for Slammiversary at the end of their last episode. Because what they did was basically show at least 9 of the people who were released from WWE in a promotional video on a screen with somebody sitting there on a couch watching with a hood on. Like, they showed EC3, they showed Miro, they showed Guns and Gallows, they showed Mike and Maria Bennett, they showed Rockstar Spud, and then they brought up Slammiversary in July.
Well, they got one wrong.
So yeah, now that we know this, there's at least one wrong out of who they threw up on the video. Are we taking this as like, okay, whatever, kind of dismissing it, or do you think these guys would actually forgo like any other opportunity they may have, whether it be Guns and Gallows, EC3, Miro, and just all pile into Impact at once? Because as smart as it was for like Holiday and Hammerstone to stay in MLW, would it really be smart for all these guys to just bum rush Impact at the same time?
I think it's
Smart for Impact, but
Oh, for them, yes.
yeah, definitely.
But for the talent,
but for the talent, maybe if they see it as an opportunity to build upon not just their careers but Impact, and give another promotion a fighting chance against the big guys, and they're just trying to invest now, so to speak, maybe it is good for them.
yeah,
Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
Okay.
I'm just thinking, like, as far as where it comes to like Holiday and Hammerstone having to go someplace and start over, and they're saying like, I'd rather stay here and build something. I don't know how, like, because Impact itself already has a pretty loaded roster. They technically have 2 champions right now, and to throw these 9 guys, well, 8 and Maria, throw them all into Impact, and like, what the hell would you do with them? Because they don't, I mean, they have 2 champions, they have an X Division title. Are you gonna make these guys tag up? Like, what would you do with them if you got them? So it just seems like I'm afraid that Impact would end up turning into what TNA was at, going into the end of Spike TV, where they had all these big names on a roster and they really didn't have a clue what the fuck to do with them. Like, you get Kurt Angle, you think it's pretty simple. It's Kurt Angle. This is what we do with him. It wasn't that simple. You get Jeff Jarrett and Sting and all these guys coming in, and you think it's pretty simple to book them, and then all of a sudden you can't. and you're paying them and nobody's watching, and things just go. Like, that's what I'm afraid they're going to turn Impact into if they bring in all this talent at once.
Mhm.
And I got to be honest, some of the guys like Spud's clearly not going,
Clearly not. No.
and my power is clearly blinking. That was not cool.
Oh.
Is
You
the
know,
storm heading your way?
I don't know.
Because it just left me, so I'm just like, oof.
It could be heading this way. I was just sitting here and everything just went and jumped
Yeah,
back up. I was like, we were about to have a quick ending to this show. You know, I can't see Guns and Gallows going to Impact.
No, I can see them going to like Japan, going
I
back
can
to
see
Japan.
I can see ROH. I can see NWA. I could see
Having a good
AEW.
old time with their podcast.
I think they'd rather be anywhere but Impact, because Impact already used them once.
Drop the ball.
When they started the Global Wrestling Network, they had this whole thing where it was like a fake pay-per-view that they edited, and they put like old footage of Guns and Gallows and Bobby Roode when he was in WWE and all this stuff together, and they called it their own pay-per-view that they put on this network.
That's weird.
And it was atrocious. And Guns and Gallows were pissed because like
Yeah.
they hadn't even made it to America yet. They were still in New Japan at the time, and when they heard this was out, they were fucking mad. So I can't see them going to Impact now. I could see like maybe Eric Young going back would make sense, because
Unless that's just Impact like shooting their shot and being like, we said you guys would be here.
So now you
kinda
gotta
have to
come.
be here. Yeah.
Because Wendy did kind of call like Triple H giving Drake that contract is like, if a girl at a sporting event gets on one knee and the camera comes on you and asks you to marry them, you may not want to, but like you're sitting there and there's all these people watching and you're like, I guess I'll say yes. You know?
Pretty
She
much, yeah.
She might be onto something here too. I don't know. I don't see a lot of like Eric Young. I could see going back.
Hmm.
I don't know about Miro. I could see Mike Bennett maybe, but he's even put out tweets where he's talked about like resurrecting the kingdom in ROH. So why would you?
Unless some of
forgo
them have,
that?
unless some of them have finagled contracts that allows them more freedom to go to other promotions.
That would be true. But then you have to go to like smaller promotions. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, fair.
Like this isn't like, you know, with MJF, you sign a contract, and Jimmy Havoc, like you got a contract with MLW, but you can go and wrestle for AEW.
Hmm.
So you feel like, oh, okay, well that's the same, or that's a little bit of a bump. I'll go there. If you sign with Impact, you got to go to like the smaller promotions and wrestle.
That's
You're
true.
not going to AEW. You're not going to NWA. You know, that sort of thing, because they don't have any agreements in place with Impact.
Hmm.
So it's like little indie promotions, you know, maybe Bar Wrestling since Joey's there, you know.
Oh, Peter just said Gallows was part of the Aces and Spades Club, wasn't he, in TNA?
Yeah, he was Doc.
He was Doc. He
Doc.
was Doc in the Aces and Eights, and that was fine. But like once they put out that weird pay-per-view that I was talking about, this was years ago, and Gallows were in Japan and they saw it. They got really fucking mad, so I couldn't see him going back. And I do think he also said that like Miro might do well in Impact, maybe EC3. He can see Anderson and Gallows going to Japan as well, which is like, yeah, okay, that would make total sense to me too. I just don't know. I mean, we'll have to wait until next month to find out, obviously, because Slammiversary is like mid-July.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of coincides with that like 90-day waiting period. I've kind of lost
That makes
track of
sense.
that. At that point, I think it happened in April. So come July,
Mhm.
you know, they would be free and maybe show up at Slammiversary. But if anything, it's a hell of a way to sell your pay-per-view there, Impact. I won't buy it, but thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate the hustle, homie. I ain't buying it. All right, so I think that's pretty much all we got. And I want to thank everybody for chatting along with us. We've had a nice live group the whole time. That's pretty cool. We'll keep doing this as long as you guys keep showing up. Like, we're going to record the episode anyway.
Of course.
But we'll get you involved as long as you keep showing up. We feel the love from here, y'all. Thank you. I mean, I even had somebody say, you know, I have a great singing, you know, verified that I had a pretty good singing voice. I had people, you know, backing me up on other stuff. I feel that love, y'all. I do. I wish Bruce was here. He needs to feel that love right now.
Miss you, Brucey.
So
He needs to feel the itchy scarf on his neck.
I couldn't hang, man. I couldn't. Still, just scarf made me itch. I was like, man, this shit is killing me. Like, I guess Burberry is soft. I don't know. I ain't got no.
ATS polyester. I don't know.
But yeah, definitely. Thank you guys so much for showing up to watch this recording live. We're gonna have the episode out probably, Friday.
Can I put something out real quick? Can I put something out real quick?
Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so it'll be quick. So I don't know who follows us on the Twitter, but we talked about this a little bit in the admin chat. I tweeted out to a Morbid podcast that it would be cool for us and them to do a collab, like a wrestling true crime episode.
Yeah.
If you don't listen to Morbid, it's two lovely ladies, Ash and oh my goodness, I'm blanking all of a sudden. This is embarrassing.
This was supposed to be quick.
Sorry.
I'm kidding. Do it.
Ash and Elena.
Ash and Elena.
A podcast on like true crime and all kinds of spooky stuff. I suggested doing a collab. I suggested the Bruiser Brody case, but if you guys have any ideas on other cases that might be more interesting or that you may want to, have like a nice little discussion.
Like she said, Bruiser Brody.
Yeah.
I came up with Dino Bravo.
Talking to my Jose, he suggested the Von Erichs. So just give me suggestions.
I think they would be,
well.
and honestly, I don't know if they'd want to cash in on that fame or not, but I think they might be a little bit more receptive to something that hasn't been done already. So if you guys know like a good...
Well, not necessarily, because they have covered on their podcast like John Wayne Gacy in 3 parts, which was a fantastic thing. So they have done cases that are very well known. They've discussed folklore that isn't well known. They've done it all. They run the gamut. Like I said, true crime and spooky stuff. They're great. So if you guys have any ideas, I will be posting something on the page about it. Let me know so that I can start doing research and reading more on it so I can be more educated. And we can reach out to them personally and be like, hey, ladies, here's what we have in mind. Would you like to do a collab? So
yeah, and I would love to do that because I'm all about those type of stories, those type of podcasts, those type of shows. It's one of the reasons I like Dark Side of the Ring so much is they dive into that kind of shit. And again, I'm feeling the love because we got everybody here saying like we miss Bruce. Thanks, PETA. We miss him too. We got Stu saying Evil Evan, stay safe, homie. Out there in LA, living that SoCal, get a little rough. And if anything happens to Evil Evan, I'm gonna be out there. And if you think you've seen a violent thug, you ain't seen shit yet. Wait till the psychos show up.
Grandma Wendy may be lily white, but she is Latina, and that will come out.
Grandma Wendy and the Chancla are coming with me. Don't fuck with Evil Evan. I'm telling you right now.
I got my skateboard. We smashing windows with my skateboard if I got to.
Right. And Brian said, great show as always. Thank you, man. Thank you for being a part of it. We appreciate it, Brian. You're such a cool guy. And PETA says, bye, guys, and bye, hot Grandma Wendy.
Yeah.
It is kind of warm in here.
Everybody loves Grandma Wendy. All right. So thank you again for watching this, whether it be on YouTube or live on Facebook. If you are watching this on YouTube and you haven't done it yet, please subscribe. If you look at any of our videos, including this episode, when it goes up, you're going to see a little thing in the right-hand corner of the screen for Fox Den Productions. If you click on it, it'll ask you if you want to subscribe. Just do it right then and there. I'm in. We need all the subscribers we can get because we're trying to come up with some merch. We're trying to come up with some better ideas. And if we can start making some money on this show, hit the like, view us, share us. Do everything you can to spread this show around if you love it and get everybody to subscribe to it. Yes. Every wrestling fan. And Fox Den Production isn't just wrestling now. We've got Drunk Upon a Time, which is very funny. It can be very serious. It's a cool show. Mutant Rejects is all about like X-Men and the MCU and all kinds of shit and all kinds of television news. All kinds
of nerd shit.
Even interviews. Even interviews, man. We've had a lot of guys that we knew from the Gifted on Fox from when they were up and running, like come on the show and kick it with us and talk about their careers, their time on set, that kind of thing, their own personal lives. It's very cool. Check that out too if you're into that kind of thing. For this show, of course, you can find us at Top Rope WT on Twitter. You can also find us where it all began at Top Rope Wrestling Talk on Facebook. We are a publicly traded group for about 28 cents. And oh man, the Instagram is at top_rope_wrestling. _wrestling_talk. We got that up and running a few weeks ago. Brucey already went live there. One of us is gonna do another live video in the near future.
Yeah.
And have some fun. We have some Evil Evan originals up there. We have some of my silly shit because that's what I'm all about. We're hoping to get some like Grandma Wendy originals and some more high class originals and that type of stuff. We put a lot of stuff out there too. We have fun with it. Please come follow us there. And does anybody want to cover the podcast, or should I just do that shit too?
No, I can do it.
Go for it.
Go to anchor.fm/TRWT, or is it?
You got it.
TRWT. And there you can find us wherever podcasts are distributed, including but not limited to Apple, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. So you can find us anywhere, everywhere. Podcasts are listened to.
Anywhere podcasts are enjoyed, we're on. And even Foxden has its own thing for rejects and Drunk Upon a Time, but you can find that at anchor.fm/Foxden. One word, don't capitalize it, nothing. FOXDEN. And all the episodes of Drunk Upon a Time rejects are going to come up. We're getting lots of platforms there too, even iHeartRadio.
I dropped our YouTube link on the chat, so whoever needs it, so you can subscribe. Hit the little bell so it lets you know whenever.
Ring the bell, yes, be the first.
Yeah, exactly. So
you gotta keep up on all things Top Rope. Because again,
I'll give you a boost.
We are the newest and fastest rising podcast and YouTube show in all of professional wrestling.
Yes,
we're better than you.
And hopefully soon we will have a Patreon up and running soon enough. So we'll be chatting more about that in the admin chat separately before we put it up for everyone, and we'll let everybody know when that happens.
Yeah, we'll see what we could do about coming up with something for that too. But for now, for the evil one who just again oozes creative machismo all day, every day, for Latina Heat, Grandma Wendy, for the high class one who we threw our scarves on for, rocked our MJF stuff for, because we love you and we miss you, and he'll be back next week. He had some family stuff to take care of. And happy birthday, Morgan! Oh my God!
Happy birthday, Morgan!
Yeah!
If you saw Takeover Morgan, Bruce's son. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Morgan!
10.
I wish I had like a cupcake with a candle we could sing. But happy birthday, Morgan. Bruce, if we're going to tell you, put on the end of this show, the very end of this show, and let Morgan see it. Or I'll just cut a clip. We'll do something. But happy birthday, Morgan. Thank you for coming on the show, too. You were awesome. We will have you back. We love you. Everybody stay safe out there. Coexist with one another. Let's just stop all this crazy shit.
Right.
We can all get along. You've seen all the colors of the world on this show, especially with Scorsese up in the building, and we all got along, talk wrestling, and we laugh. That's the way of the world. That's the way it needs to be. That's not the way that it is. We can make that happen. But for now, just get along. Just coexist. Just try not to fuck with nobody.
Love.
Wash the hands. Love someone. Hug someone. Don't hug someone. Give them the elbow. Give them the elbow. There's a virus. Give them the elbow.
Just
like dad.
Wave. Just a little Vulcan.
Virtual hug.
Throw up the too sweet, that kind of thing. Show them they're a good brother. Something, anything other than this shit lately. That's all I'm saying. We ain't gonna go in all, but that needed to be put out there. So thanks again, and we will catch you next week. Enjoy your weekend, guys. Oh, and get ready for Takeover in your house.
That's right.
Your house.
That's what I almost forgot.
Fill out your forms. Fill out your forms.
We will not, by the way, we will not see you next week. We will see you Sunday, because we will be here to either kick the show off or wrap the show up and announce champions, or both.
Sunday.
Sunday.
Sunday. Top Rope Wrestling. Talk.
No scarves needed.
Yeah.
Take care, y'all. We'll see you Sunday.
Stay safe. Bye.
The old LL Cool J.